It's Wednesday, which means it's happy hump day. My name's CJ Curry. Thank you so much for joining me for another PrizePicks NBA video. You guys have been amazing, subscribing to the channel, leaving likes, sharing the videos. So if you haven't done any of those things yet, here's your opportunity. Take a moment, hit pause, hit subscribe, turn on those notifications so you don't miss out on any new content, and leave a like for me. We went well over 400 likes in yesterday's video. I'm going to increase today's line to 399.5 likes. You guys have just been absolutely knocking it out of the ballpark, and for that, I thank you. That tells me that you want to see more of these types of videos from me going forward. So I'll continue to deliver as long as you continue to deliver. All right, yesterday's video, we went 4-2, got 4 right, 2 wrong, not too shabby. Depending on how you played those, you could have profited if you made 2-pick power plays out of them all, or if you just took the right 4 and made a 4-pick power play. But I know a lot of you guys like to chase those 5-pick flex entries, those 6-pick flex entries. And so we'll see if we could get more right than wrong once again today. For those of you keeping score at home, our record for these YouTube videos now sits at 33-12. So 33 correct picks, 12 incorrect picks, which is an astounding 73.3% hit rate. I don't know if you're going to find too many people out there who have hit at a higher clip, a higher rate than we have here in these videos to start this NBA season off. Let's see if we can keep things going tonight on this massive NBA slate. We're looking at PrizePicks. Of course, PrizePicks is daily fantasy made easy. You pick your favorite players from your favorite sports, decide whether or not they're going to go for more or less on their projection. You can go all the way up to 6 picks for 25 times your money. And right now, they're still doing that play $5, earn $50 promotion. The way that you can take advantage of that is by using promo code CJ Curry or going down to the description of today's video. Click that special link, take advantage of this offer, and let's get rocking on some plays for today's NBA slate. Starting with this first guy, which is going to be Nick Richards of the Charlotte Hornets. Richards is sitting out there at 23.5 points, rebounds, and assists. This looks like it's a little bit too high based on the comparisons from the 3 different projection model sources that I use. When we compare those lines to the PrizePicks lines, there's a big differential or gap, and we've been taking advantage of these differentials and gaps, which is how we've gotten to more of a 73.3% hit rate on these picks. So we're going to continue to do what's been working for us. If it ain't broke, we ain't going to fix it. So let's take a look at some projections here on Nick Richards. We'll start things off by going over to the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer. Now, what this tool is really great at doing is going out and scanning all the sports books across the industry, and then it takes a look at the odds for each particular player prop, and then it's going to remove the juice, or VIG as it's known, which is kind of like the tax that the sports books charge you for taking bets on their sports books. And then it's going to give you basically the true odds or fair odds of a player prop hitting. So taking a look at this first one here, which is Nick Richards at 23.5 points, rebounds, and assists, 51.88% chance that he stays under tonight, which is about a 52% chance. You're seeing on a sharp sports book like Pinnacle, the money is coming in on the under, not drastically or anything like that, but this could be one of those props that as we go on later in the day, that it starts to pick up some momentum and you start seeing more and more money come in for the under. Now let's take a look at the projections. I use a couple of different sites. This first one is going to be RotoWire. If you want a 2-day all-access free pass to RotoWire, there's a link down in the description of today's video. In fact, links to everything that I show on screen can be found down in the description of today's video, whether it be tools, whether it be promos for different DFS apps. You can find them all down in the description if you're looking for them. Taking a look at the projection here for Nick Richards over on RotoWire, they've got him at 23.5 on the dot. Now, like I mentioned in yesterday's video about Michael Porter Jr. and his 8.5 rebounds plus assists, when you take a look at these projection systems like on RotoWire, what you want to do is you want to shave off about 10 to 20% off of whatever it's projecting. And so in this case, 23.5, if we were to take 10 to 20% off of that number, he'd be just under 23.5, shading closer to 23 than 24 PRA. Going up against the Toronto Raptors tonight. So just something to kind of keep in mind when you're looking at some of these projections. Taking a look at where he's at over on Fantasy Labs. Again, Fantasy Labs, in case y'all are new here, is probably my favorite projection model, the most accurate that I've found. 18.9 points, rebounds, and assists, well under 23.5 for Nick Richards. So the under looking like a very strong option when you compare the projections that Fantasy Labs has to PrizePicks. Again, I don't make these projections myself. I just use them. I'm partnered with them. I have access to them. So if you disagree with them or you don't like them or it doesn't serve you right, well, go file a complaint against Fantasy Labs or RotoWire. That has nothing to do with me. I'm just reporting what I'm finding for you guys, saving you time and trouble from doing the work on your own. So let's check a third projection on Nick Richards. We're going to go over here to Betting Pros, and Betting Pros is a free projection site that you guys can use. Go over to bettingpros.com to take advantage. And when we look at Nick Richards over there, you can see that he's projecting under for most everything. Now, they don't have his points, rebounds, and assists listed here, but just look at the points and assists at 12.5. His projection is at 9.4, and the points on their own, 11.5, projected for 8.6. So the things that we do have access to on Betting Pros, he is trending under for. And so I'm fine with taking the under on Nick Richards in this case at 23.5 points, rebounds, and assists. He'll be locking horns with Jakob Poeltl of the Toronto Raptors, a pretty decent center in his own right. Let's swing things over to Chicago. We're looking at Patrick Williams at 16.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Again, he's going up against a tough Orlando Magic team. He'll be dealing with guys like Paolo Banchero, Wendell Carter Jr., Franz Wagner. And so, we know Orlando is very good defensively. They're also very slow pace in terms of how fast that they get up and down the court. They kind of play a slower pace. So we're going to look at the under on Patrick Williams because, well, it's projecting under, quite frankly. And we ride with the projections and we die with the projections. And so let's run Patrick Williams' name through the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer. CJ Curry gets you a discount on the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer. Link down in the description if you want to try this out for yourself. But when we punch in Patrick Williams' name, right now it's sitting at about a coin flip at 16.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Again, I think once the betting market starts to heat up closer to tip-off, you're going to see this one as more of a stronger underplay. Right now, you got about a 50.67% chance that he stays under based on the odds pulled from these different sports books. When we go and take a look at the projections for Patrick Williams, much like Nick Richards, you're going to see a lot of projected unders. 16.5 is the line. Just to remind you, he's projected for about 16 over on RotoWire, 15.98 to be exact. When we go over to Fantasy Labs, you're going to see another projection for the under on Patrick Williams, a pretty big under as well, 13.8 projected PRA, points plus rebounds plus assists. And so that's a big differential or gap between the PrizePicks number and this number you're seeing here on Fantasy Labs. And last but not least, Betting Pros. I got to bless you with 3 projections when I can. And in this case, they do have Patrick Williams betting under or trending under for pretty much every category. PRA projected for 14.3, a difference of 2.2 points, rebounds, and assists. And every other category is pretty much an under for Pat Williams as well. So we're going to do what we do and take the under on Pat Williams. Again, you don't have to take any of these or all of these. You can take the ones you like and leave the rest. I'm going to take them all, though. Definitely. Jared Allen's our next guy. He's taking on the Los Angeles Lakers tonight. They just played the New York Knicks. He's taking on the Lakers tonight at 14.5 points. The over looking like the best way to go here on Jared Allen. This number looking like it's a little bit too low for Allen. Taking a look at where he's at over on the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer. This is simply just rinse and repeat, but I like to show you guys why we're on what we're on here. It's not just me going, guessing with my gut, going with intuition or a feeling. I like to use real data to help me make my betting decisions. Jared Allen, 51.1% chance he's going to go over 14.5 points tonight. So the juice is coming in on the over here for Allen to score 15 or more points against the Los Angeles Lakers. So taking a look at some projections for Jared Allen. We're going back over here to RotoWire. And RotoWire's got him at 14.8. So kind of a sharp projection, kind of a tight projection here for Jared Allen at just 14.8. But the projection that I found over on Fantasy Labs was a lot better for Jared Allen, 18.1 projected points. That's nearly 4 points higher on Fantasy Labs than where he's currently sitting on your favorite sports books and on apps like PrizePicks. So pretty big differential there. And then, of course, we're going to go back over to Betting Pros and get you a third and final projection on Jarrett Allen of the Cleveland Cavaliers. At 14.5 points, you're seeing a projection of 15.3, a difference of almost 1 point. So might be a little sweaty, but Jarrett Allen projecting for more than 14.5 points looks like the way to go here. So that's the way that I would lean toward that prop. Speaking of props, the Dub Club yesterday absolutely feasted. Shout out to everybody who's a Dub Club members. We got Taco Tuesday yesterday. We hit 2 out of 3 tacos, and this is what I ended up playing here. I took this one, Brandon Ingram, one that we talked about in yesterday's video, and I paired it with Anthony Edwards, so we ended up going 3x on that particular pick. I mean, even if you just tailed this one entry, your Dub Club membership would be completely paid for in just one night, one bet. But we also took this one too. New user interface here on PrizePicks, in case you guys didn't notice. We took the second taco, the NHL taco, paired it with Christian Brown. Luckily, that game went into overtime, and Brown ended up getting down by going over 11.5 points plus assists. So we posted 2 different 3x slips last night. And if you guys are in Dub Club and you tailed these, well, then you should have had a profitable night. But if you're not in Dub Club and you want to get signed up, listen, 7-day free trial. And then you choose how long you want to be in it for. A month, 3 months will save you more money. 6 months will save you even more money. If you want to do a full year, hey, it's going to pay for itself, gang. Link down in the description. I've got it pinned to the comment section as well. Dub Club, let's win more together. All right, 3 more picks to go. We got the first 3 in the bag. What are we doing next? We're going over to the San Antonio Spurs and looking at Harrison Barnes. I know some of you guys are going to see Harrison Barnes and be like, man, I don't trust that guy. But he's done a pretty good job this season. When you take a look at the previous games of going over 17 fantasy score, he had 27.8 versus Dallas, 19.1 versus Houston. And then, of course, he laid an egg against Houston in their rematch with 3.6. I'm hoping for a bounce back night tonight, and I think the projection models are hoping for that too, because he is projecting to go over when we go and check those projection models out. So let's start over here on RotoWire. They've got a huge projection up for Harrison Barnes, 19.96. That's about 3 fantasy score higher than where he is at on PrizePicks at just 17 at the moment, taking on the Oklahoma City Thunder. So that first projection looking good. Second projection, which is brought to you by Fantasy Labs, 19.68, closer to 20 fantasy score, which is more than enough of a differential or gap between his line, which is set at 17 fantasy score today. And then third and final projection, going back over to Betting Pros and typing in Harrison Barnes' name over there, where we get another projection of an over on his fantasy score, 19.3. Again, the line is just 17 over on PrizePicks. So let's take advantage of that projection versus line differential. We're going to go back to the Chicago-Orlando game for this next pick, which is Jalen Suggs of the Orlando Magic. He's sitting out there at 19.5 points plus rebounds. This looks like one we want to take the under on. Now, Jalen Suggs had himself a pretty good game last couple games as far as the points plus rebounds, but you got to remember Franz Wagner was out for most of this Indiana Pacers game. Memphis game, a little different situation, playing against a more up-tempo, up-pace type of team, but you can see against Miami and Brooklyn, he did go under in those 2 games, and so the projection models are expecting Jalen Suggs to come crashing back down to earth tonight. So let's look at where he's at on the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer first and foremost. When we go and search for Jalen Suggs over there, you can see there's about a 52.2% chance that he stays under 19.5 points plus rebounds. In fact, FanDuel already has him listed at 18.5 PR. So you're starting to see things trend downward for Suggs. It's important that we kind of analyze and read how the sports betting market is viewing Jalen Suggs. And right now, they are starting to go under at 19.5 points plus rebounds. So let's go ahead and jump on this line while it's still at 19.5 on PrizePicks and follow suit and take the under as well. Going back and taking a look at some of the projections for Jalen Suggs, you're seeing a projection here of about 19.3. That number, again, if we shave about 10 to 20% off of the 19.35 projection, well, you're going to be left with a projection of less than 19 points plus rebounds. If he has 19 or fewer, we're good. That's a green check mark we can put next to this prop. Take a look at a second projection for Suggs. Back over to, again, my favorite, which is Fantasy Labs. I'm going to punch in Suggs' name there, and you're going to get a nice projection of 17.1 PR, putting him under 19.5 by quite a big margin. And of course, Betting Pros is going to give us a third projection. And when we go and take a look at where he's at over there, everything's trending under for Suggs. Whether it be the PRA, the PR, the PA, everything is projecting under. His PR, though, projected for 15.9. That is a 3.6 points plus rebound differential for Suggs against the Chicago Bulls. And so I want to go with the projections, not against them. Which brings us to our sixth and final play. We're sticking with the Florida basketball teams, looking at Bam Adebayo. He's taking on the New York Knicks tonight, 17.5 points plus assists. Looking a little bit too low for Bam Bam. So I'm looking to take the over here, or more in this case, at 17.5 PA. Back over to the optimizer we go. Typing in Adebayo's name, you're going to see a number of different ways that you could play Bam. You can take the over on the PRA if you want to. 52.8% chance that he clears that. You're starting to see some of these books list Bam at 28.5 PRA, meaning this line's going to get bumped up before you know it. You could also take the over on the PR of 24.5. Again, you're seeing him at 25.5 on your favorite sports books already. So don't be surprised if PrizePicks jumps in line and offers him at a 28.5 PRA or a 25.5 PR or an 18.5 points plus assist number before it's all said and done here. But speaking of points and assists, because this is the one that we're targeting, 52.4% chance that he's going to clear 17.5 points plus assists. And as I mentioned, FanDuel, DraftKings, and BetOnline already have him up at 18.5, and you can kind of get an idea of where this thing's trending. It's trending upwards. So let's go back to the projections and look at those, and we'll get you out of here and on your way so you could go lock in some of these picks that you're liking here. Again, everything on RotoWire is just trending up for Adebayo. His PRA, his PR, his PA, I mean, everything for Adebayo. But we're talking PA, so 19.56 is the projected points plus assists for him. More than a 2 PA difference versus his line currently over on PrizePicks. Back over here to Fantasy Labs we go for the next one. The projection over there is even better, 20.6 points plus assists, a 3.1 PA differential. Now, if this gets bumped up by a half a point, I'm okay with you taking it. If it gets bumped up a full point, tread lightly. You're starting to run into a lot more risk with a full point bump. And then last but not least, back to Betting Pros. Adebayo over on Betting Pros is sitting out there at a projection of, let's see, 21.8 points plus assists. That is a difference of 4.3 PA. So let's take advantage of that differential as well and lean over on Bam Adebayo. Now, that's the end of today's video. Will we get all the picks right? That remains to be seen. But what I can promise you is that we've gotten a whole heck of a lot more right than we have wrong, and I hope that trend continues today. Good luck and God bless on all your picks, plays, and parlays. And if you're looking for even more options, that's where you want to join the Dub Club. We'll see you on the inside. Peace.